Okay, people, we are live again, and we have a brand new session planned in for you. Um, so last week we had a pretty good number of sessions, pretty amazing sessions. I think we did quite a few activities last time. We participated in conversations, and I think we were able to match our or rather complete our goal of speaking for a longer period of time. I think last week the goal that we kept was that each one of us should be able to speak by the end of the week. We each one of us should be able to speak for at least 8 to 10 minutes, right? And I think we were definitely successful in achieving that goal, and I am glad that we did that. Last week was eventful in the sense we engaged in conversation where we implemented a mix of tenses, right? Each activity that we had, it implemented mix of tenses, so whatever we learned previous to that, we were able to implement that successfully, right? Whatever errors and small feedback points that were there, I hope you guys remember that, so that you are able to once again implement it in this week, okay, and make it even better. Last week, I'll do a quick recap of what we did last week. Last week, we started with discussions about dreams and goals, right? And this is where we implemented all the different tenses step by step. I think that was the first step. After that, we continued practice in the same direction, and I guess we spoke about rather we learned how to talk about our opinions, how to share our opinions. That was with the topic of advantages and disadvantages of technologies, right? So how to share our opinion, how to agree and disagree with something, right? How to tell what we think, what we feel. So that was one activity that we did. After that, I think we engaged in conversations. We engaged in day-to-day basis English conversations, right? So we discussed how to speak to our friends, right? We had some good conversations. We all interacted with each other as well. Till now what we were doing was we were giving each other single each single person, each single candidate some amount of time to speak, and we gave them topic and they spoke with me, or they spoke in general, right? Last week we interacted with each other, so that was a new way of conversation, correct? And that also gave us an idea about how to uh, anticipate what the other person might say, accordingly respond to them, focus on listening activities as well, correct? So how listening is also important. All these things we learned in the past week, yeah, right? What we are going to do today is, so this week, now we are going to once again up our level of difficulty, okay? This week, of course, we are going to implement all of that which we learned last week, right? Mix of tenses, using complex sentences, use of day-to-day English, all of that, right? We are going to implement all of that, but at a higher difficulty level. What we are going to do now is, this week we are going to start talking about topics which are, I probably not directly related to us. For example, we should not be personally related to those topics, so we'll talk about topics like that, and we'll engage in conversations of a higher difficulty level where we have to give our opinions, express agreements, disagreements, right? Whether we agree, whether we disagree, right? So those sort of conversations we'll try to have. But before we go on to a journey of that sort, I want to take a very, very important session today, that is about vocabulary. Because if we are going towards higher level of conversation, we should also be able to speak at that level. So for what we have, I think in my opinion, now all of you are able to have a conversation, have a decent conversation, last for at least 8 to 10 minutes, speak for at least 8 to 10 minutes on your own, without getting stuck. Without getting stuck in a sense where you don't know what the word is, or you don't know how to say it, or you don't know what word to use, right? So a general level of conversation fluency we have, right? What we want to do now is how to even make it better, how to express ourselves better. Okay, so for that we should know how to utilize our vocabulary properly. Okay, and how we can add on to that existing vocabulary and use that as well. Understood? Okay, so today's session is focused entirely on that, learning vocabulary, learning utilization of our existing vocabulary, and how to improve our existing vocabulary. Okay, all right, how to add on to our existing vocabulary bank. Yes, okay. So excited for today's session. This is
Yeah.
something I have a bunch of activities planned for you guys. So I hope you all are excited. So okay, so today, since I mentioned we are going to focus on vocabulary, right? So, what I'll do is I'll first share a few tips with you. Okay, how in general, and these are some tips that you can use and also work on it on your own. Okay, so you don't constantly need guidance for this. Once you know some of these techniques and tips, you can work on the vocabulary part, vocabulary building part on your own at in your own free time, whenever you have time. And in fact, you can do that activity while you are doing some other activity. Okay, it's not something that you have to take out separate time and study and make it entirely academic. It can be something which is fun as well. Okay, so learning language, learning vocabulary, don't make it too academic. Make it something fun, something that you will enjoy, and something that will help you remember better. Okay, all right. So let me share a few tips on how to utilize your vocabulary properly and how to build and improve your vocabulary even better. Okay, all right. So, the best way, so the first tip is that the best way of learning vocabulary is by using it. Okay, the best way of learning, as I mentioned, the best way of learning vocabulary is using it. What happens is, usually, since we are adults, right, we usually have a bank of words already stored in our mind, right? We have definitely come across a lot of different words till now with respect to English language, right? And we have them somewhere stored in our mind. It's like a computer. Our mind is also like a computer system, correct? So we have them stored in our mind somewhere. If the problem is, most of the time people tell me that they are not able to remember the right word at the right time, right? And this is the most common problem that students face when the topic of vocabulary comes. Now, why this happens? This happens because you have not utilized that bank. Whatever existing bank of vocabulary that you have, since you have not used it and you have not used it in many different ways, you don't know how to place it properly. Okay, so since you have not used it often, you won't remember it quickly as well, right? It's a very simple logic. Something that has happened to you recently, that's what you remember better, not something that has happened 10 years, 20 years ago, right? So similar, it's the same logic with vocabulary as well. Something that you have used recently, that's what you're going to remember, correct? So first tip of vocabulary or building vocabulary is use it often. Keep practicing whichever way possible. Okay, whichever way that you remember, whichever way possible, keep using those words. Put those words to good use. If you don't keep using those words, you will forget. First of all, you will not know the correct way of using it, and second, you won't remember it at the right time in the right moment. Okay, so when you say that I am not able to remember words, or I don't have words, or something like that, the problem is that you're not using it often. Okay, so keep speaking in English, keep utilizing it, whether it's spoken way, whether it's written way, whichever way, but keep using it. Okay, keep using the vocabulary that you wish to learn. If you don't, you will forget it. Okay, so that's my first tip. Keep practicing, keep using the language. All right, now the second thing is learning new words, right? The second problem that people face is, oh, I want a better word for it, or I don't know, I want new words, I want to learn new words. Correct. Now, in my opinion, instead of sitting down with a dictionary or a thesaurus and learning new words like a, you take one letter and then you learn 10 words starting from the letter a. I feel that's not the correct way of learning vocabulary. This is my opinion. Personally, something that I have also gone through. Okay, something that I have experienced, something that I've used in my own life, right? So, whenever we are learning vocabulary, try to avoid using just sitting down with a dictionary and writing down 10 new words and then trying to learn those words or memorize those words. In my opinion, as I just mentioned, we have an existing vocabulary, correct? Right? We have an existing bank of vocabulary. The best way of learning new words is learning synonyms of those existing words that we know. Understood? Okay, the best way of learning new words and learning better sounding words, right? Better words or better versions of those words, that to make that happen, best way of learning is by using synonyms or by learning synonyms. So even if you want to google something, don't just randomly google new difficult words starting with letter a or difficult words to learn to improve vocabulary. Don't learn that way. Whichever words you know and whichever words that you're already using, try to find synonyms. For example, you said that, oh, that painting is pretty, right? Now you know this is very basic, these are very basic words, right? You said this painting is pretty. So if you say pretty, try finding synonyms for pretty. You use this sentence, go back home when, or if you're at home, go back and think about what other words I can use for pretty. So the next time the situation comes when you have to use the word pretty again, use the synonyms that you have learned. So what are the synonyms of pretty? You can say beautiful, you can say amazing, right? You can say stunning, you can say fetching, you can say attractive. All of this not very difficult word but synonyms, so that you are not repeating yourself again and again. Okay, your vocabulary won't be repetitive next time. So next time when you have to say pretty, instead of saying pretty, you'll say, oh, that painting is so attractive, oh, that painting is beautiful, that painting is very fetching. Correct. So the more synonyms you learn, the bigger your vocabulary bank will be. All right. So when you talk about saying, oh, I want to learn difficult English new words, right? Avoid that. Instead, use simple language. First, try learning your simple language first. Learn your simple language, learn synonyms of that simple language. Okay? And try utilizing those words often. And once you've exhausted that, then you learn more difficult versions of those words. Understood? So this way you can keep building your vocabulary step by step. Okay? And this is a very important and very easy way of learning vocabulary. Yeah? Right? Okay, so next time, and this is something that you can utilize even when you're reading something, not just while speaking. Even when you're reading something and you come across a word, instead of finding just the meaning of it, try finding synonyms of it, simple words that are existing. For example, even the word simple words like pretty, amazing, very. Find synonyms of very. This is a very common word that we use whenever we want to say something. Very amazing, very pretty, very beautiful. Instead of saying very again and again, try finding something else, right? So find synonyms of words that you use more often and replace those words. Okay, that way your vocabulary will be much richer. Yeah. Okay. This is the second tip. Now, third tip is, okay, so reading is known to be the best way of learning vocabulary. Yes, correct. However, sometimes we say that I find reading very boring because every time I read, I come across very difficult words and then I lose interest. This happens, right? So, especially when you're reading newspaper or something which is academic, right? We come across words which are not known to us, some words which are very difficult, and we at times lose interest in reading, correct? And we end up googling each word every single time in every single sentence, correct? My tip for this is that avoid googling the very second you come across a difficult word. The moment you come across a difficult word, don't google it immediately. Instead, read that sentence with the difficult word again and again. Read that sentence twice or thrice. Read the sentence before it, read the sentence after it, and try see if you can guess the meaning of that word. Okay, guess what it might mean. Guess it what is the possible meaning of that difficult word. Okay, and whatever guesswork you have done, check that with Google or dictionary. Okay, whatever guesswork you have done, you see whether your guesswork was correct or not. Okay, that way what happens is, first of all, your brain has done a lot of hard work in finding the meaning of that word. Okay, so what your brain will remember is the hard work that you have done, and that is why it is easier for us to remember the meaning of the word going forward. What happens is, we google it, we remember it for that sentence, and then we move ahead, and then we forget after some time. It doesn't even take a day. Within a day, we forget the meaning of the new word that we saw or that we googled. Correct? This happens with us, right? So, for us to remember the meaning of that word, yeah, don't immediately Google it. Try guessing the meaning of the word on your own first, and check the guess whether that guess is correct or not. Okay? And that hard work which you have done, that is what your mind will remember better. Understood? So the work that your mind has done, that's the work that you will remember, and that way you will be able to remember how your vocabulary, or that way you will be able to remember the meaning of the difficult word for a longer period of time. Understood? Okay? Yeah? Right? Okay. Aside from this, there are many other things that you can, so these are some basic tips. Many other, now we have so many resources nowadays to practice vocabulary or learn more better vocab, right? So we you can try some other tips, are like, you can try some vocabulary games. We have so many online mobile games, right? So you have wordscapes or games, other games like that, correct? So you can try some word games, word play games, that will help you work on your vocabulary. You have so many mobile games now, online games now. Do crossword activities or something like that, which will help you build or work on your vocabulary, correct? So those are some things that you can add. You can try an activity like word association. Word association means that whichever word is given to you, correct, try making as many sentences as you can. Try using that word in as many different ways as you can, so that way you will learn different meanings of the same word, right? And this is another way of using synonyms as well. You can use synonyms and make more sentences with it, correct? So that's like, take 10 words each day and make 10 sentences. If you want to add a fun element to it, time yourself, like in 15 seconds how many, in 20 seconds how many sentences I can write using that word, right? So use such activities, use such fun activities, so that you don't get bored while learning vocabulary or building vocabulary. Okay, understood? So these are some basic tips and techniques that you can follow to improve your vocabulary, utilize your vocabulary properly. Okay, so my tips don't just mention how to learn better vocabulary, it mentions how to utilize it properly as well. Okay, so don't just keep learning and memorizing things. Okay, unless and until you use it correctly and you use it regularly, you won't remember the new vocabulary that you have learned. Yes. Okay, so these points are clear. Any doubts, any queries till now? Is everyone clear? Everyone follows till now? Yes. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. All right. So now I hope you all are ready for the activity that I have planned for you. Okay. So what we are going to do, we talked about word games and word associations and everything, right? What we are going to do is something similar to that. We are going to mix two activities together. What we are going to do is, okay, so I have some cards. I made some cards like this. I've put numbers on these things. Okay, I've chits of paper, pieces of paper. Okay, and I have put numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 6. Okay, 1 to 6. You have 6 chits here. Okay. What we'll do is we'll go one by one. Okay. Say for example, Yukta goes first and I ask her to pick out a number. And she picks out a number. There is a topic written on each number. Okay. I will ask Yukta and I will give her 5 minutes. I'll ask her to take 1 minute, think about that topic first, and then I'll ask her to speak for 5 minutes. Okay, and until she's preparing her topic and or until she's speaking, I want the other two members, we just have other two members right now, right? Anusha and Govardhan. So I want the other members to write other words associated with that topic or words that they can think of related to that topic. Understood? I'll explain
Okay.
again. So, say for example, Yukta picks out number two, okay, and the topic over there is movies. Yeah, so the topic written on that chit is movies. So, I will ask Yukta to talk about movies in general, whatever she can think about movies. I like going to the movies, the latest movie I saw was this, whatever she wants. Okay, she'll tell me a story for 5 minutes. Until then, Anusha and Govardhan will write words which are associated with the word movie. So you can say, what are different words associated with movies? You
Film.
can say cinema hall, films, yes, cinema hall, or
Direction, screenplay,
screenplay, action, comedy,
action,
horror,
comedy.
right? Actors, director. So these are all what? Plot, story, songs, dance. These are all what? Words related to movies, correct? Or
Movie.
in some way or the other, they have some reference to movies, correct? Yeah. Okay. What you can do is to make it simpler. Maybe you can write down quickly. You can write down maximum words that you can think of. Okay, and then once I tell stop, I'll give 1 minute. I'll tell stop, and then you stop, and then you listen to Yukta tell her story. Okay, and we'll see who gets the maximum number of words. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Govardhan, you have understood till now what the game is. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So keep a pen and paper if you want. Keep a pen and paper or type it down if you are using a laptop or a mobile or something. Type it down if you like. Okay, and keep it ready with you. We will begin then. Okay, so let's, like I decided, let's take Yukta first. Okay, Yukta, and before you start speaking, I'll give you a few seconds to prepare. Okay, prepare properly. Remember the introduction, explanation, conclusion that we have talked about till now, right? So you know how to speak in a descriptive manner, right? So remember intro, explanation, conclusion, speak in that manner. Take a few seconds, prepare yourself about the topic. Till then, these guys will write down the words, and when I tell stop, you can begin telling your story then. Okay? Alright, so you have six numbers here, right? One, two, three. Okay, where's four? Four is hiding. Okay, let me check. Yeah, so there's four, five, and six. Yeah. Okay. So which number do you want to pick, Yukta?
Five, ma'am.
Five. Oh, interesting. Okay. So five is gone. So five says, right. My favorite season. Okay. Yeah. So my favorite season. So I'll give. So it's 7:24. I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. Until then, Anusha and Govardhan, I want you to write words associated with my season. Okay, my favorite season. So whichever words that you can think about the word season with related to the word season, write them down quickly. You have a few seconds. Okay, write them down or type them down, whichever way possible. Yeah. Until then, Yukta can think about what to say in her description about favorite season. Yukta's favorite season. That's what you should be talking about. Yeah? Alright, stop. Okay? So Anusha and Govardhan, you were able to get some words related to season?
Yes.
Yes, Govardhan? Okay, good. After Yukta's story, I will ask you those words. Alright? Okay, so Yukta, you can begin your story now. My favorite season.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my favorite season is summer, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, first, summer is very hot, summer hot days, ma'am, because in that season, we get holidays, ma'am, summer holidays, and and it's very hot and it's suitable for eating some cold things like ice cream, watermelon, etc. ma'am. But it's very hot and it's very hot and in summer season mangoes will come, ma'am. That is one of my favorite fruits, ma'am. And in summer season I would like to swim in pools, playing in pools and playing with water
Not
more
I
time.
would like to, I like to.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because
I
that's
I
something
will
that you like to do in general, right?
I will like to play.
No,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
like to play.
I like to play in pools with water and ma'am. And
Anusha,
in
can you request Anusha to mute her audio till then? Anusha? Okay, continue.
yes, ma'am. And in summer, in summer, most of the crops will be get harvested, ma'am. Most of the crops, some of the crops will get harvested in summer seasons, and
1 second. Yukta, use your tenses properly. You are using future tense.
okay,
We're
ma'am.
not talking about future tense, no. We're talking about things that happen in general in summer. So that will be present tense. Correct? Yeah? So simple present. You're saying simple present. I like doing this. Crops get harvested. Right? We have holidays. Correct? Hmm.
Sure, ma'am. Yes.
Continue.
And the crop will get harvested. Um,
Not will. Crop gets
that
harvested.
get harvested.
Don't
Yes.
use will. You are using will.
Yes, ma'am. And after the summer holidays, our classes get started, ma'am.
Mhm.
And
What do you like about summers?
ma'am, usually I like summer season because actually it will be so hot in the summer season has some hot wind blow. The hot wind will blow.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm audible.
Yeah.
And that's all I would like to share, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Yukta. However, Yukta, I feel you could have done a little better because considering our past week's performance, I think you could have added a lot of other things. See, whenever a topic like this is given, and for others also, this is a tip for others for their other topics, right? Whenever this such topics are general topics are given, think about all the different wh questions, right? What, why, how, when, will. Try answering those things. What do you like about what happens in summer? What do you like about summers? What is the fun thing that you are able to do? What do you don't like about summers, right? If summer is your favorite reason, why is it your favorite season, right? For what all reasons it is favorite, what makes it favorite, what activities do you enjoy doing in summers, what activities you don't like doing in summers, right? So all these things you could have described. Yeah, that is why I gave you that 1 minute to think about. Understood? Okay. All right. So hopefully if we get more time, we'll probably come around once again, try to remember it for the next one. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's discuss the words that you guys got for season. Govardhan, can you tell me the words that you got for season? How many words did you get? But first, hello, Govardhan, can you hear me? Okay, seems like there's a bit of lag, or probably is not able to hear me. Okay, let's go to Anusha. Anusha, what different words that you get for the word season?
Shall I read out the words which I have written, or
Yeah, what I'll give me some examples of what you've written.
spring, monsoon, climate, rainy, autumn, flowers, blossom, cloudy, summer, humid, hot, cold, leaves, fog, on season, off season, sale, harvesting,
Good. Yes.
harvesting months, light, dark, favorite.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So imagine if this topic came to you, you can utilize all these different words in your story, right? Whatever is your season, all these different words that you've written down, you can put them to good use in your sentences, whichever story that you get. Understood? So this is the reason why, so that even if the topic went to Yukta, you still will be learning something out of this. Okay, so although the story was told by Yukta, but you got a lot of other synonyms which she probably did not use, or which you could have used if you got that topic. Understood? Yes. Okay. So this is how associate words according to the topic and try utilizing it in your conversation. Yes. Okay. So that way, and this, by the way, this activity, I think we took only a few seconds, right? Not even a whole minute. We only took a few seconds. So, whenever we start speaking, take those few seconds. Remember all these words associated with the topic that is being given to you, and then start speaking. So when I told you, I think previously also in the first week or so, I told you that take a moment's time, take a deep breath in and out, and take that time to think about what you're going to say. So the thinking process involves this activity. Think about all the different words that come to your mind. Think about an idea. Think about an opinion that you have, right? And then once you start speaking, start putting it all together in a format. And the format is also given to you, that is introduction, explanation, conclusion. Yes? Makes it easier now, right? Correct? Okay, so let's see. I don't know. Let me check. Govardhan, can you still hear me? Can you hear me now? Govardhan, let's see. I want you to check the numbers. Pick a number now, okay? And I want you to tell your story. Until then, Anusha and Yukta will write the words, okay? Which number do you pick? So five is already gone. Yukta picked it out. So you have one, two, three, four, and six. Which number do you pick out? Which number do you want to pick? Govardhan, can you hear me? I'm not able to hear you. Your audio is, I mean, it's not on mute, but I still can't hear you. Try logging out and joining in once again. Try that. This has happened before. Okay. Until then, let's Anusha let Anusha pick out a number. So out of one, two, three, four, and six, which one would you like to pick?
Number one.
One. Okay. Great. All right. So the number one is about,
My family.
yeah. Okay. So until then, so the topic is my family. So whatever words are associated with the term family, try writing as many words as you can think of with the term family, with respect to family. Okay. So I'll give you a few seconds. Until then, Anusha can think about how to how to frame her story about my family, and then we'll begin. Govardhan, the topic that Anusha has picked out is my family. Write down a few words that you associated with family. Okay. However,
Okay, okay.
yeah, now I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Write down words with family. Then once Anusha has finished her story, I'll ask you to tell me those words that you've written. Okay.
okay, okay.
All right. Go ahead. Okay. Stop. Right? Okay. So I'll ask you the words after Anusha has finished telling her story. Anusha, you may begin telling me about my family or your family actually. Unmute, unmute.
Sorry. Uh, yeah, I'm talking about my family. There are five members in my family. Uh, okay, I'll start again. Okay. Uh, there are five. Uh, there are five members in my paternal family. Okay, till 20s, I stayed with my father, mother, and I have two sisters, one younger sister and one elder sister. Mm, elder sister. My father is a businessman, and my mother is a housewife. My elder and younger sister are engineering engineers, and I am a postgraduate student. And now I'm living with my maternal family. I was a joint family where I live with my in-laws.
Joint family.
Ours is a joint family. I live with my in-laws. We are total of eight members. We are total of eight members plus with the two kids. Uh, two kids. Mm, Okay, so most of our family members are engaged in a private jobs. So, we spend family time during the weekends. That is on Saturdays and Sundays. Sundays on Saturdays we usually go out for a movies together, and on Sunday we cook our favorite dish at home and have a family lunch together. So having a lunch together once in a week is something we all follow compulsory, which is something which we follow regularly to keep that bonding among ourselves. Mm, yeah, my family is headed by my father-in-law. Headed by my father-in-law. He has four sons. Oh, he has four sons, and we are. My husband is the third one. We are. Is the third among the four. Yeah, that's all.
All right, good. Okay, very well done, Anusha. Good job. Told you properly described about what your family is like, who all are there, what do they do, right? How what are the different sides of your family, right? So all different members also, you talked about all the different members as well. So that was a good enough description about your family. Okay, all right, very well done. Okay, now I want to go to Govardhan. Govardhan, what words did you write about family which are related to the word family? Govardhan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what different words you could write about the with the word related to family?
No, I wrote only few points. Is it right or wrong? I don't know, but I want to say with you. Uh, I wrote to mom and dad, my brother and sister, spouse, children,
Mm,
relatives, uh,
mm,
functions,
mm.
family gatherings, go to movies, and
Good.
spend some time into parks or restaurants. I wrote
Mm.
only few points.
Very good. That's amazing. These are a lot of different words associated with family. These are things. There are words which are members of family, or rather which indicate members of family. Then it also shows some activities that you do with your family members, right? Correct.
Yes,
So relatives
yes,
are part of your extended family. All these words are in one way or the one way or the other associated with family. Understood? So, very well done. So, if for example this topic was given to you, you could have used all these words in your story. So, you could have talked about with my family. I go to the movies, or I go to the park with my kids, or I enjoy family functions. Right? So, these are all good sentences about family. Understood? Yukta, were you able to write some words?
Yes,
Tell me
ma'am.
about it.
Loving, caring mom, dad, sisters, siblings, dinners. That's all, ma'am.
Hmm. Good. So you see how each one of you wrote and utilized different set of words. I think Anusha used an entirely different vocabulary. Yukta said an entirely different set of words. Govardhan used an entirely different set of words. But all of them are correct, right? So do you understand how a single word is associated with multiple different words? So, a single word can lead to multiple different words and multiple different sentences. So, that makes your vocabulary even richer about the word family. So, family can be loving, family can be caring, family can have functions, family can go to movies together, family can enjoy dinner, family might have 8 members, family might have 7 members, family can go to work. All of these words are correct and all associated with the term family. Understood? So this is how you need to work on your vocabulary. Utilize all the different words associated with. These are all synonymous, not exactly synonyms, but synonymous with the word family. Understood? Yeah. All right. Okay. So now it's Govardhan's turn. Let's quickly ask him to pick out a number. So one and I think 1 and 5 is gone, right? So you have 2, 3, 4, and 6. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Which number do you wish to pick?
I go with 6.
6. Very good.
Yes.
That's my favorite topic that I've written down today. Okay. So the topic associated with number 6 is this. Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. What does it
Yeah, yeah.
say?
Okay.
My favorite dish. Yeah.
Yeah,
So my
okay. Yeah.
favorite dish, that means it's associated with the word food. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Right. My favorite
Yeah,
dish. So Govardhan, I'll give you a few seconds to think about what you want to say. Okay. Until then, Anusha and Yukta will write down some words associated with favorite dish. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Start. Yuk. Yukta and Anusha start. Govardhan, you start thinking. A few more seconds. Write down quickly. Okay, alright, stop. Okay, I'll ask Anusha and Yukta the words later on. Let's have Govardhan speak first. So, Govardhan, I want you to talk about your favorite dish. Give me a small description about it.
Yeah, sure, Samyukta. Actually, I had chosen my relevant option. Unfortunately, I was chosen. I want to share with you my favorite dish. First of all, I likes only non-veg. Every day, I want to eat non-veg. In my home also, they are cooking daily non-veg. In non-veg also, every dish I likes. But particularly, if I don't say which dish in like non-veg, I could not say straightly. But you want to one dish, you want to say one dish. I say only
Okay,
prawns.
pause here, Govardhan. Govardhan, here your
Yeah.
sentence structure will be a little different. You will say, if I
Oh,
have to pick one dish, I will choose prawns. Okay? Not
okay.
if you want one dish, I will say you one dish is incorrect. You will say,
Oh,
how will you frame it? How will you phrase it? You will say, if I want to pick one dish, I will choose prawns. Okay?
okay. Okay.
Continue.
Yeah. Prawns. Yeah. In prawns, I like different varieties like prawns fry, prawns with
Hmm.
uh, prawns with tomato, prawns with different type of varieties like in France. And actually, I usually eat only non-veg, so I could not say about veg items.
I could
Okay,
not is incorrect. I cannot say. Could not is
okay,
past.
okay. I
I
can't say about the veg curries. I can say only about only non-veg curries. France and after France, I likes only uh,
I like
fish.
only, not like. I like.
Okay,
Yes. Hmm.
I like only fish. So these are my favorite dish.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Govardhan. Good attempt by you. Remember the corrections I told you. Okay. Some grammatical corrections here and there. Remember those.
Okay,
And use of likes and use of like versus likes. Okay, when we talk about singular, we say he likes, she likes, they like. But when you say I, it will be I like. Understood? I
okay,
like, we like. Understood? Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay. Also, maybe next time add more details. Why that is your favorite? What do you like about it? Is there a special preparation that you like? Correct? Or is there a dish that you have eaten somewhere and that's become your favorite now? Or maybe in a restaurant where you have eaten and now that's your favorite. So add more details as much as you can. Whatever is related to it. Okay?
yeah.
Think
Sure, sure.
about it. Okay, so next time in
Yeah,
your next attempt, try adding more details. Understood? Okay.
yeah. Okay.
So, Yukta, tell me what words you have for favorite dish.
Yes, ma'am. Ingredients, kitchen, spices, vegetable, fruit, plates.
Good. Okay. Very nice. Anusha.
Yeah, one second. Food, meal, biryani, cooking, dinner, hungry, hotel, cook, non-veg, canteen, barbecue, nutrition, protein, low calorie, low carbohydrates, diet,
Very
junk
good.
supplements, pressure cooker, non-stick pan, foodie, sugar, restaurant chef, menu, server.
Good. All right. Good. Good. Okay. So once again, whatever words Govardhan used in his speech, right, in his conversation, what Yukta has listed, what Anusha has listed, almost all words are different from each other. However, all of them are associated to the same topic. Yes. So in fact, all of you can exchange all the words that you have written down, and you can actually utilize them and keep it in your word bank. Correct? So imagine this, given a limited amount of time, just a span of few seconds, you are able to think about so many different words associated with a single topic. However, thinking is not the only part that we have to stop at. We have to go ahead, take the next step, and utilize these words in our conversation. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is a simple activity, not like an homework, but if you do find some time, okay. So for each of you have written words for each other's topics, right? Okay. So whatever words you have written down, frame sentences out of those words about that topic. Okay.
Yeah,
So if you have written down, if Govardhan and Yukta have written down words for family, since you didn't get to speak about that topic, I want you to write about that topic using the words that you have written down. Yes?
sure.
Okay? That way, you have already done one listening activity by listening to each other's story. You have done speaking activity as well by telling a story of your own. Plus, you will do a writing activity where you will write about something new. Okay? Words that you have already written down, but put them into proper sentences. So that way it's like a three pronged way of learning vocabulary and strengthening it, plus utilizing it in the correct way. Okay, understood? So learn such synonyms, learn to associate words with each other. All of them are connected. Okay, it shouldn't be that just one single word and then you know just that and you don't know anything before and after it. Associate words that you know of with other things, connect them with each other and use them as much as you can. Okay. And as Govardhan also asked me one day how to improve it, learn more synonyms. Okay. Learn more synonyms of the words that you're using or already using, words that you already know of, right? Learn better synonyms of it and use those synonyms with in your conversations. So when you go back after each session, right, after each session that you go back, do some activities like this. Okay, if you're reading something not related to the session, if you're generally reading something which happens to be in English, figure out at least figure out at least 5 words which you are learning new or which you have maybe heard of already, but try finding their synonyms and use them in the next session. Okay. So the more you use it in your spoken language or even in written format, right, the more you utilize them, the better you will remember them and the better you will associate them in your language practice. Okay, understood? Okay. So this
Yeah,
session is so far. No? Any doubts, any queries, any clarification?
No, ma'am.
Did I
no,
tell you the remaining topics that nobody picked? Maybe learn words about that as well. Yeah. So one topic. So the topic at number 2 was my favorite festival. It's an interesting topic. I'm sad that nobody picked it out. So festival, something that we all associate with, right? We all have our own festivals that we like. So whichever is your favorite festival that you like celebrating, right? Write down words about that and write statements about using those words. Okay, so do it like this, like the way we did it right now in our sessions. Take like 15 seconds, put a 15-second timer, write down as quickly as you can, write down words using that topic. Okay, and then check the words that you've got and write down statements or speak and record yourself speaking about the topic. Okay? Understood?
Sure.
Using those words that you've written down. So the topic was festival, my favorite festival. Another topic was my recent holiday trip. So holiday, trip, words associated with these two words, holiday, trip, recent. Okay, write down words about that. And the final one was my best friend.
Oh,
So talking about your best friend, just like how you spoke about your family, right? So best friend. So words that are associated with the term friend. Okay. So write down those. Take 15 seconds. Quickly write down those words and talk about that topic and record yourself. Yeah. So fun. Do such fun activities like that. Don't make it too academic and stress yourself out. Learning language should be fun. Okay. Don't make it something like it's like you don't have to give an exam for this, right? So make something. Use it in a way which you will enjoy. Use it in a way that you will like doing again and again. Learn it in a way which is fun for you, which is interesting for you, something that makes you come back to that activity and do it more often. Understood? Okay. So that is why I say don't learn vocabulary from a worksheet or from a dictionary or from a thesaurus. No. Learn it in a way which is practically usable immediately. Understood? Okay? Alright. Okay, so this brings us to the end of our today's session. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Tomorrow onwards, since now we know how to use vocabulary and how to learn better vocabulary, we'll try utilizing all this information in our next session. Okay, so tomorrow onwards, we'll work towards our weekly goal of talking about more difficult topics. Okay, we'll talk about how to agree to a topic, how to disagree, how to make an opinion, how to make a point, right? We'll take up topics which will help us discuss all these. Okay, understood? All right. So, all right, we'll stop here for the day. Good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll come back tomorrow at same time and we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
thank you,
Okay.
Sangeeta. Thank you
Bye
so
now.
much.
Bye.